Hi, how is everyone? Welcome back to the match preview. Leicester head to the Riverside on Tuesday night, and it's a tricky task. The Riverside's a fortress for Middlesbrough this season, and we're here to look ahead to Tuesday night's tough task, and we're going to discuss team selection, how we think this one's going to go. Well, many people seem to think how this one's going to go. But 13 games to go in this relegation battle. Leicester still sit 22nd in the Championship, a point from West Brom, and it is a massive game. And can Leicester go and outthink the odds and maybe get something from the Riverside? Who knows how football goes, but we will see. Dan, hello, how are we?
Not too bad, Jack. How are you?
I'm all right. I am good. Dan, well, we looked at the Stoke game on Saturday. We both went. Not very pleasing on the eye in the first half, as we spoke about it. Gave it to halves, though. Let me see what the comments are saying and say hello to everyone before we discuss the Stoke game and then look ahead to Middlesbrough. Phil, hello, how are we? Hello, Jack and everyone. Feeling more positive after the weekend, but the guys need to show the same passion Tuesday, whatever the result. Agreed. Keith, how are we, mate? Hope you're well. Donk, how are we? Let's hope for a better result this time. Come on, you Foxes. Let's hope we can go to North Yorkshire and steal a point. Ross, it's Teesside. Don't go saying that. You can't call them North Yorkshire, Ross. Let's not upset them before the players. Leave it till after. A Steeler 1-0 win, 22nd game streak has to end. I think he's on about the scenario regarding the clean sheet record. Evening all. Let's hope for a better result this time. Hello. Dawn, hello. How are we? Ronald McDonald, how are we, pal? Nice to see you in. Any Big Macs? What's happening at McDonald's? Dallas Foxes, Charles, how are we, mate? Charles, if you ever want to come on a preview, mate, I will send you the link out and we can have a chat. So, Dan, let's talk about Stoke. Stoke away, Leicester. We ended that winless run of losing. I think we lost 4 on the bounce going into that game. Leicester, poor run of form. Gary Rowett's first game in charge. Obviously, he had to, as a manager, you've got to sort of change it quite quickly because of how many games are left. What did you make from Stoke? Let's talk about the game of two halves. The first half, very poor. Didn't look at the game. Stoke dominant. But then, Dan, it's the Achilles heel for Leicester this season, where we keep conceding the same goals, keep doing the same things with the whole letting the ball come into the box, not closing down quick enough, allowing it to come in too easy, and we're not there marking our men and defending the basics of football. But we conceded the first goal in, 3 minutes? So...
just over the 4 minute mark it was, but, won't nitpick too much about it.
What did you make of that goal, though? Did you think to yourself when that goal went in? Oh, bloody hell, here we go again.
Of course, yeah. With us, it's the only way to think. Travel all that way to, like you say, within 4 minutes, you're 1-0 down. It's not the ideal scenario you want. And again, the side lets another new manager down within 4 minutes because they're ill-disciplined, don't hold a structure, can't close a ball down. I mean, there are basics within football that you're taught as a kid
Yeah.
You know, like don't let the ball bounce, close down and block the cross. You know, basic defending manoeuvres like that, and we just fail week in. I mean, this has not been a this season thing. This has been like the last couple of seasons, if not more, where we just been afraid to go and press the ball anywhere near our box, and make it difficult for a winger or a forward or whoever it is that's got the ball. We're extremely poor at it. And then what the biggest sin of it all is, it'd be all right. You'd go, okay, well, let them cross it in from there because we'll head it clear because we've got, you know, strong tower in centre halves who'll just nod it away. But they don't. They stand there like statues. They're like pogo sticks in the ground, in the mud, you know, and the feet don't leave the ground. So we kill ourselves with that. And then our fullbacks, no matter which side it is or which one it is, switch up as well, and allow their attacking players in round the back of them. And as I say, it's not a new thing. It's a thing that's happened for a couple of seasons now, and it's very, very frustrating.
It is.
A clear game plan with that. Just whipping balls in. I mean, yes, the goal in the first few minutes was bad, but they'd done one in the first minute virtually. And we struggled to deal with that, and then they kept coming. So
sitting back, Leicester passing it round the back, not getting out. I think we had one shot in that first half. Ricardo testing the keeper. We looked less effective. It just looked like we went into a nutshell and hid as soon as the first goal went in. You look at Cresswell had that shot deflected. Begovic saved it. They did it the crossbar, didn't they? Seko was it hit the crossbar, should have scored. But we kept the score at 1-0.
Yeah.
A lot to discuss at half time with Gary Rowett. Whatever he said to them at half time, it worked. It worked. Leicester came out a completely different side. And when you talk to Stoke fans, it's we're a one-half side. And then I'm thinking to myself, you are talking to a fan who knows what it feels like to have one half of football. We're both we're very much the same. We both like to play for one half and then don't know what we're doing in the other half. So it's a bit of a cliche. But then second half, the fight, the passion, the commitment, it came out. Leicester City played like bloody prime Real Madrid at that point, and we're thinking, hold on a minute, what is happening here? Why couldn't you have done that in the first half? But he must have dug it into them at half time. I know he said in the post match that he said, "We've got to do better here, boys. I'm not happy with this. You know you can be good, so go and do it for me." He had to bring the Gary Rowett out and think, well, you're not playing under a different manager now. This is my way now, and this is how you're going to go out a second half. And it worked. Makasa across. What went into the bottom corner?
Exactly. Who cares? He's put a ball in an area. He's put a ball in an area that's asked them questions, which is something that we don't do. We have it done to us many a times, but we don't do it. And he'd done that 2 or 3 times, and obviously that one came off. But like you're saying with Rowett, he clearly said more than what in the changing room than what he would let on. I mean, I would say he probably went along the lines of something like, well, we've tried it your way, you're 1-0 down and you're shit. So now we'll do it my way. And as you say, they came out a lot better, a lot more progressive. There was not really much messing around at the back too much.
No.
It was more get it out to Steffi, really, was a lot of it, who did have a lot better game. You know, you might argue, it probably was, he stitched up Luke Thomas a little bit for the second goal that they scored by not tracking back and leaving him isolated with 2 men. But still, I'm always of the opinion of that, yes, your winger is to help out your fullback, but his primary role is to get goals at the other end and be in an advanced position. But it's more to the fact that we still didn't stop the cross from coming in. We didn't head it clear, and then we left our left back with 2 men at the back post. So that caused us the problem.
Right.
If we'd have dealt with it and got it forward, Steffi would have been on his own.
Let's rewind it back a little bit for when Leicester took the lead. Macassar, great back heel. Harry Winks. Let's talk about Harry Winks. This guy gets spoken about a lot this season because of his attitude and the way he conducts himself as a player. And we know how good Harry Winks can be when he's got his mind screwed on. And obviously, some bloody fan turned around and said, yeah, but you shouldn't be celebrating Harry Winks' goal if you've been slating him all season. And just like, everyone's going to criticise if a player's not going to have the right attitude in that. They have the right to. It don't mean you can't celebrate the goal when they score. You celebrate the goal because it's Leicester City scoring a goal. It's not Harry Winks FC. It's Leicester City. We celebrated limbs. Great finish by Harry Winks. What was your thought on Harry Winks patting the badge? Let's talk about that because he showed passion. He slid in front of the Leicester fans, took an absolute tumble, and he patted the badge. He showed passion for one. And we were like, hold on a minute. Is this Harry Winks we've known all season? What is going on? Talk to me about the goal and Harry Winks patting the badge.
Well, players do that all the time. You know, we've seen players kiss the badge and then be gone the following week. So, you know, it's just one of the things that you get wrapped up in a moment and you do. But look, I mean, yes, he's took some deserved stick. There's no two ways about it. Obviously, something's been said to him or he's doing this trying to dupe fans to keep them on side of him with how he behaves and stuff. Because he was the first one over before kick-off to clap the fans. And he was the first one over at the end of the game to clap the fans. Plus the bit in the middle, you know. So, look, you can't get too wrapped up in it, really. It's just a player showing an emotion of scoring a very good goal.
Which could have been the winner.
It could well have been, and it should have been, really, you know.
Yeah.
But still, you know, just getting a bit caught up in the emotion. It would have been a big goal, and you know, and put us hopefully on the right track.
Yeah, but then we had
too much into it.
No, but it's nice to see the players had passion. Daka, Ricardo, Winks. Every player showed passion in that celebration. The fans were absolute limbs. I don't know where Dan ended up in the end after Harry Winks scored, but
almost in the Stoke fans, I was.
Dan were off to wind them up instead. He was just like, nah, Harry Winks, mate, you're not doing this to me, mate. Them lot are getting it instead.
Where I was, we had a massive surge. The lad who was stood next to me, he was gone. He ran over the chairs. He was jumping all over.
Honestly, we haven't celebrated a goal like that in a long time. No. It's been a while, hasn't it, since we've... But then, Dan, we keep kicking on. We have many chances. Mavididi hit it wide. Leicester looked like they was going to get another in. I think another goal would have actually won the game. I don't think Stoke would have got back into it. But Stoke were poor second half. But, Dan, they have one good chance in that second half. And they score.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it, because someone put it out today about Luke Thomas and Mavididi, right? And I said, looking back at it, we failed at the basics of defending. Firstly, we needed to stop the ball coming in. How many times do we keep letting that ball come? That was basically a carbon copy of their first goal. We're not out quick enough. The defence has to get tighter to their man in the box. They have to mark up properly. Akoli needs to get one. Nelson needs to get another. Thomas needs to get one, and Mavididi needs to get one. But Mavididi, it looked like he wanted it 1 minute and then ran off. So it's the problem of Leicester this season, isn't it, for us as a team? And again, shows poor defending all round by the team. But it's been the moral of the story in these situations where we're making it too easy for teams. And Thomas has got to mark Cisse better. Of course he has. He's lost him. Cisse, was it offside? Did he get a flick on? Because he looked offside.
Yeah, he did from where we were.
But then, did he get a touch on it? I don't think he did. But then Wilmot scored. Simple goal. Leicester non-existent. And then your heart sort of dropped then and you're thinking,
Oh yeah,
Stoke are going to up the ante here, but it wasn't. Leicester didn't give up. They carried on fighting, and then let's talk about the shots that they had after. Ben Nelson hit the crossbar.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about Macassar balling. Luke Thomas hits the post, and before Luke Thomas hits the post in the same build-up, Aribo missed a sitter. Aribo missed a sitter. If that had gone in, it'd have been even worse in the bloody away end with Limbs. That had been it live. But yeah, Dan, talk to me about them massive chances. We've created some massive chances in the game, and we prove that we can do it when we want to. Yeah. It's just we don't see enough of it in this season. This is why we are where we are, because we're not doing what we should be doing.
We're not killing games off. We're not killing games off, that's for sure. But no. As you say, I mean, the other disappointing side of Mavadidi on Saturdays, he could have had a hat-trick in the second half. There's no reason why he couldn't have done. He had, it was a decent save, but he had the strike from outside the box. The one that was offside, he didn't finish it, and he should have done. And then he had an identical one not 2 minutes later, and didn't learn from his first mistake of where he placed it. Tried to do exactly the same thing, and the keeper saved it. And then from there, though, yes, the keeper's made a decent save, but I'm disappointed that we had nobody running into the box to follow that up, because he just palmed it back into the middle of the 6-yard box.
It's an easy save, isn't it?
Yeah, and nobody near it, not even them. So that was a bit disappointing. But yeah, like you say, Luke Thomas probably had his eyes shut, couldn't believe he was in the position he was in.
I felt for him at the end, because he just threw himself to the floor, and he just I tried to, but then I sort of give Thomas a little credit here. And what I say is, I've been a criticism of Luke Thomas this season. I'll hold my hands up and admit what I've said about Luke Thomas not being good enough. But then he did more in the Stoke game than what bloody Victor Christensen did. Every time Victor Christensen wrong, we never went forward. When Luke Thomas went to come on, we went forward. So Luke Thomas did a lot more than Victor Christensen did in about bloody half an hour until he went off. So
Victor Christensen, like what I said Saturday, he couldn't wait to get off the pitch. Like the time he was on Blackburn at home. Couldn't wait to get off.
Fans singing, he's had enough.
He's had enough, And he had. You could see, the minute we went 1-0 down, you saw it in him. He's a waste of space. He doesn't want to be here.
No.
Unfortunately, he is our only other option. I've never known a bloke to have so many injuries in one season.
Well, we've only got one left back now.
Well, that's the way we've been all season anyway. So, but again, I know Thomas is taking a lot of stick.
He gets a lot of slack this season, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does. But whoever's in front of him doesn't help him out that much. And also, whoever's alongside him at centre-half doesn't help him that much either.
I'd have been on the pitch if that went in and not hit the post, by the way. I'd have bloody jumped him.
Yeah, that's it. Again, that's sometimes where we've not got that rub of the green as well, because 9 times out of 10, that just hits you. It goes in. If that were the opposite end and Stoke had that opportunity, it'd have gone in. But that's the look. That's the look against you when you're at the bottom. That's the problem. You don't get the look. To be fair to the lad, it was a decent header. He's done pretty much everything he could right. He's headed it down into the ground. He's got round
ready to celebrate next to him.
Yeah.
There's not much he could have done. Not much more.
No, that's it.
And you could tell he was disheartened by the end. He had his head on his hands. He just fell to his knees. It was just like...
Yeah. Well, exactly. Well, again, because that's a hero glory moment after all the shit he's taken this year.
Yeah.
But at that point, it would have been 3 points. There'd have been no coming back from that.
97th minute winner, though, Dan. Would have gone down the tree for the Leicester fans.
Oh, man.
Oh... Deary me, right. Let's have a look at some of the
comments in front of me. I know that.
Need to be more ruthless, in my opinion. Need to start getting more goals and stop sitting back. The thing is, goal difference is going to play a massive part come the end of the season. which is true. Our goal difference is the better of Blackburn, Portsmouth, West Brom.
Yeah, it's by far the better by some distance compared to those around us.
Talk to me about this one. A few more weeks, Gary Rowett will have us drilled. I've seen more in 45 minutes to convince me we'll stay up. What's your thoughts on what Richard said? See, Gary Rowett's going to take him time. It's a big job on his hands in a short space of time to turn this around. But Gary Rowett's been in the Championship long enough to know how to keep things up and the way of doing it. So when we start to see, because everyone talks about Gary Rowett's teams are hard to beat. Some say, but it's boring football. But in Leicester's situation, Dan, yes, it might be boring if that's the way it goes. But as long as you keep grinding them points out and getting the target at the end of finishing above West Brom, above that relegation zone, that's the main aim for Gary Rowett now. Is to, if we finish 21st and West Brom finish 22nd, that's him. That's him now done his job in the 10 weeks that he's got to turn it around. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, look, there's obviously a lot said from Rowett's football, from clubs that have had him there for a long period of time. But at the same time, those clubs don't have the quality that we have in attacking positions. So is it a case of his football's boring, or is it a case of he doesn't have the players to
see tomorrow, mate,
a decent style of football? Because the one thing you can say for sure is that our first half was bloody boring. Our second half was far from that. So I know what one I'll take all day long. And as we say, look, I feel that 51 points will be enough. And I can see us getting that. Maybe only by the skin of my teeth, but I think we'll get there. But also, I'm saying 51 points, but there's at least two sides there that don't look like they're going to be getting many points themselves anyway.
West Brom need to sack their manager, bro. I guess
I think he's doing a great job.
It's the best job keeping him there for that. Keep him there all season. We'll get the boys. You don't worry. You just keep doing what you're doing, Mr. Man at West Brom, the manager, Eric Ramsey. Thomas tries, and that's all you can ask. Just a shame he's not very. That's what I'm saying. He might not be very good. Yeah, but he tries, and he overcommits sometimes to when he needs to. Thomas will get a goal soon. He's been taking shots from the edge of the area too. I pray the lad gets one and gets a runner form. Also, credit to him staying fit all season. He's barely missed a game. Well, he's had to bloody stay fit with bloody Leicester's situation. Rivalry aside as a fan base, us at Coventry know exactly how it feels to drop all the way down to League Two. Our fan base started to divide until Robbins brought us back. Baggies have been shit. We'll save you. Yeah. Although, if you could beat the Boro, that would do us a favour with a winky face. Dan, what do you say about Coventry fans? Because Coventry fans have been in my DMs, they've been on social media. Come on, Leicester, do it for us. Dan, what do you sort of say about that? Because they're 4 points ahead of Middlesbrough, who they're at the top by a little bit of a margin. They'll be sort of hoping that Leicester can do them a favour tomorrow night at the Riverside, Dan.
Look, the way I feel about it at the minute, Jack, is unfortunately it's just one of those double-edged sword moments where we haven't got the luxury of looking at it as doing them a favour because we need the points.
We've got to focus on ourselves.
Yeah, it's ourselves first. That's the main aim. Yeah, it's ourselves first. Unfortunately, if Coventry benefit from it, well, so be it. I'm not.
You say that regretted too, Dan.
Yeah, of course.
You say that and you just don't want it to happen. It's just like, no, bloody hell, not them. Never Maltese. Can we swap it for another team, please?
Yeah. Unfortunately, if this game was maybe in like 4 or 5 games' time, and we'd got ourselves in a decent position where we don't really need to worry about it, I'd go, whatever.
Dan,
we can afford to drop these points because we'll pick them up somewhere else. But as we stand at this moment in time,
we've got to think of ourselves.
We've got to look after number one.
Yeah, which is us. Coventry fans, you go and focus on what you're doing, and we'll take charge of our own problems.
But not only with that,
they'll say they did us a favour beating West Brom. That's their commitment towards the cause, basically.
If they can't beat West Brom, then they shouldn't be winning the league, and that's what I was going to say about them relying on us to beat Middlesbrough. If they're relying on other people, then they must be concerned, and it shows they're not really good enough to do it.
Right, Dan. Ronald says here, shame we didn't. Well, we're basically fanning about bringing Gary Rowett in. I think if you'd have offered Gary Rowett the job 5 minutes after the bloody Oxford game and sat Marty, he'd have been straight on the phone and took that job, hands down. But it's a shame he wasn't first choice. We wanted better. We bloody Renzo Maresco game pinned about at one point. He ain't going to answer the phone. It's not happening. But the thing is, Gary Rowett, if we'd have brought him in a few more games ago, Dan, obviously we lost to Charlton, lost to Southampton, lost to Birmingham. What do you reckon? Because I said, if Gary Rowett was in charge and we were 3-0 up to Southampton, that second half would have been completely different second half than how it panned out against Saints.
Yeah, without a doubt.
With Rowett in charge.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, if it had been in by Charlton, that's when he should have been in charge by.
I like that Rowett didn't start and play Ayew. I believe Jordan Ayew had a little graze on his foot. I believe he had a cut on his foot to why he didn't play. Abdul's is down to a knee injury.
His knee's swollen up, hasn't it?
Basically, he's played a lot of games, hasn't he? We're going down. Only new owners can save us. Yeah, everyone has their opinions on the whole thing. It is what it is. Football's opinions. You have the right to push your opinion. That's football. That's what I'd say on that matter regarding the whole ownership situation and all that. We all have their own opinions. Obviously, people haven't been doing the job that they should be doing, and they've basically made some massive effing mistakes, and they've not been held accountable for it, and they're still not being in the way of wanting to accept accountability either. So they carry on doing what they're doing. We'll keep criticising and whatever else because in football, you should be criticising. It's the bloody biggest fall off I think I've witnessed, to be honest, from a club to go and win the Premier League 10 years ago to then 10 years facing League One in the face.
Well, that's a massive 5 years ago.
That's what I mean. You got fired out of a job, Dan. If you did what this football club's been doing and the decisions that they made, you'd have been sacked on the spot. But we keep the same people doing what they're doing, and apparently there's no problem with it. But we're not going to talk about that. We'll discuss that in another show. Dan, let's get on to the Riverside. I'll tell you what, we'll get Ross in. Middlesbrough versus Leicester. This one, Ross, is a massive task for Leicester to go and get anything at the Riverside. We just asked for them to turn up and give everything tomorrow night. If we can get a draw, fantastic. But looking at how Middlesbrough are playing this season under Kim Elber, they're playing some fantastic stuff. Obviously, they've not been great in the last 2 games against Oxford and Coventry. But every team has a little bit of a blip. But Middlesbrough, I think they will go up this season. But then Ross talked to me. It's a massive task. What's your thoughts ahead of the game, mate?
I mean, to be honest, again, going back a few minutes ago when someone said about, we've been beat Middlesbrough, that means Coventry fuck them, right?
Exactly.
End of the day, I don't get if they go. End of the day, it's live. If we go up, if they go up, they go up. Doesn't matter. End of the day, yes, it'll hurt. Of course, it will. I mean, they must have hurt a lot when we've done we've got 25 years since the millennium.
Yeah.
3, League Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, and stuff. So if they get promoted, they get promoted. It's just part of football. Your relegations, highs, lows, everything. But the funny thing is, if we beat Middlesbrough tomorrow and they lose to whoever, Sheffield United, I would say, bear in mind, they've just relegated their arch rivals. So they're on a massive bounce at the minute. Although they did it in a way that, they only just won, bearing in mind, and they've got momentum going. So You never know. While they're travelling to South Yorkshire, we're travelling to North Yorkshire tomorrow. And
say that quietly, bro. Say that quietly.
Well, it clearly states on the internet they are based in North Yorkshire.
Well, they're having none of that basically.
They're
part of the Northeast, Ross, the Teesside.
That's debatable. Right. But Middlesbrough, I mean, a very tough game. Pardon?
They're a good side.
They are a good side. And well, let's not forget, we were this close to getting a win out of them.
Basically, from beating them.
And that was Rob Edwards' last game for Middlesbrough.
But that will bloody down to Hamza Chadwi and Jordan Ayew why we didn't win that game, and Ben Nelson not winning his header against Luke Ayling.
Exactly.
But,
it's been very tough tomorrow. I mean, honestly, I think right now, so what is it, 7:30 at night? So in 24 hours, 26 hours time, by 9:30, hopefully, I will take a point right now. I would take
a point.
Take a point right now. I would say, consider they've just lost to Coventry and they've just drew to Oxford. So hopefully we can take advantage of their little blip, hopefully go on and, that second half performance, how we didn't win that second half was unreal. That Mukasa goal, that, like I said this to you yesterday, Jack. I would say that was probably the biggest limbs that we've done this season for a goal, celebrating a goal.
To Danny, we're too busy wanting to attack the Stoke fans and celebrate a goal.
I mean, it was crazy that game. I mean,
the way it turns on its head and we lead the game from how poor we were in the first half.
Yeah.
It's a game of two halves. That's the championship for you. Exactly. I watched Boro under-21s against my local side, Ashington, and the under-21s were very quick on the counter, not expecting anything against our defence. Ross, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go to Dan with it. So, Dan, Boro sit third in the home form table this season. They've played 16, won 10, drawn 4, lost 2. I believe they lost to Coventry and Hull City in the games that they have lost this season. They've got 34 points from 16 games. The Riverside's a fortress, by the way, and like I say, only 2 teams have gone there this season and won. How do you think Leicester fare, Dan, going into this? What do Leicester need to do is the main thing, because we can't put Mount Everest in front of goal, that's for sure. Talk to me about it, Dan. What do we need? What do we need to do? What does Gary Rowett need to do?
Well, it just needs to get the continuation from Saturday's second half. But how many times have we said that? Yes, he needs to make sure that we are a bit more organised at the back there, which is what he's renowned for. Making sure that we are making the right decisions, making sure that we're stopping crosses coming into our box so easily. Not that Middlesbrough tend to do that from what I've seen of them so far this season. They are quite an intricate passing side who do play on the break. So
they can open you up quite quickly.
Yeah. So we do need to be aware of that. As I say, whether he goes for that extra man in the middle of midfield as opposed to Mukasa, like what I thought he would do in the first place against Stoke, and put Aribo in the centre with Winks and Skip, because there's just not enough strength in there when you have those two in there. Yeah. Neither of them particularly want to tackle. Skip, he's quite good at getting the blocks in and things like that. But if you were asking him to do a Ndidi role or something like that, that's way out of his capability, and we don't really have anybody in there who can do it. But at least if you've got Aribo in the middle there with them, at least you've got a physical specimen there, because he is a big lad. So
it's a test of character in it against them. That you have to be physical. You have to be physical.
Every game for us now is a complete test of character because of the position we put ourselves in. So we have to stand up and be counted, as they would say, and things like that. But the main thing is that he's got to make us, as I say, that bit more aware of what's going on defensively, and making sure that people aren't having easy chances.
Exactly.
I agree. Leicester have conceded the second most goals in the league, by the way, going into this, 53.
For God's sake. Who was above us? Actually, no, it was Dan.
Sheffield Wednesday was 66. So we're the second most conceded side in the league to date.
Well, that goes to show, doesn't it, with the fact that we're now 27 games without a clean sheet. So
that's how many days, by the way? 157. I know it's back 156 days, by the way.
Is that since the last time we kept a clean sheet?
In the league, yes. So basically, as of tomorrow, 157. That's, I calculated it, 5.5 months.
It's been a while since we've won a game in all of
it. How many haircuts have you had since then, Jack? 3, 4?
Enough to not send me bold, I think. Well, right, clearances per match is 34.1. So it shows that we teams get at us a lot, and we've got the second for that for most clearances. That shows that we're too defensive. We're too sat deep a lot of the time. Goals conceded per match is 1.6. So we're basically, if you did the table, well, it'd be the second most, wouldn't it, of goals conceded per match. Leicester 1.6. So we concede more than 1.5 XG a game. Might as well call it 2. But then if you look at expected XG conceded, 47.3. So expected goals against us are more than what we get against any other team. So that's the climax that Leicester City face tomorrow night, going to the Riverside. We've got to be everything we need to be. We've got to turn up, and
I think we've got to proper fight.
We need a masterclass. We need the test of character. Give everything. Don't make it an easy game for them. Don't try not open too much. And the main aim, what I said to Dan was, Ross, it's these balls coming into the box. And Middlesbrough are quite good at that, getting these balls into the box. Leicester don't deal with that. But then you look at how Middlesbrough are playing this season under Hellberg. What's his name? Hayden Hackney has been a fantastic player for them, by the way.
What's a player?
He's the Championship's best midfielder this season, without a doubt. He's been the key to what Middlesbrough are this season in that midfield. He's very strong midfield. He can pick a pass. He can do everything. Conway stepped up his game this season for Middlesbrough. Scored some crucial goals. Middlesbrough as a team, though, Dan, you know, they've got a good squad, haven't they? I guess with the Middlesbrough, what you can see is they're a very test of character type of side. You know, they know when to really dig in and how to get these points in these type of games. But obviously against Oxford, a 0-0 draw, they'd probably be annoyed that they drew 0-0 with Oxford at home. And for Oxford to go there and get a 0-0 draw against Middlesbrough is a massive point for Oxford, and 2 points drop for Boro.
Yeah, of course, especially with losing to Coventry the week before as well.
Hello, Troy. How are we?
The one thing that you can say about Middlesbrough this season is that they've had 2 decent managers. They're very organised and they know what they're doing. They have a game plan. Whereas we don't look like we have at all this season, you know. As I say, second half, yeah, you could clearly see there was a game plan. And that, like I say, that was to be a bit more defensively sound with our back four, or with the 3 of them for sure. And to find Mavididi also in the space, hence why he's never seen the ball so much. And that's why, as I said earlier, you know, he could have quite easily and probably should have had a hat-trick in that second half. Better,
sorry, carry on.
Better finishing, and better timing of his runs. You know, he should have got a bit more, but we certainly saw a lot more from him, and hopefully, you know, something like that will continue and give him that much needed confidence he still needs, clearly. But yeah, like I said, you know, Rowett needs to make sure that we are organised and that each of them know their job and what they need to do. How he goes about that, we'll see.
Can I just say, this is controversial, I think we played better without Fatahil.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure.
Personally, I think that, honestly, I I don't know. I just feel like because every time he's got the ball, he's always going for goal every time. Don't get me wrong. I always say that great goal. Don't get me wrong. But since then, all he keeps doing is doing the same, cutting inside every time, and the players know what he's going to do. The opposition, and obviously on Saturday, I thought it was different, and I think we played very well second half. I'm not saying he's a bad player, by the way, just to make that clear. I just think on Saturday we played better without him and Ayew.
One of our best players.
Who was that, sir?
Abdul. Is
he is. I'm not saying he isn't, but I'm saying that I thought we played better without him.
What I will say about Abdul is he's a good player. He's one of the Championship's best wingers today. But the thing is, with what I find with Abdul is he can't carry the team the way Jordan James has this season. He's not a carry a team type of player. He's not got that character about him. He wants to sort of try and carry it on his back sometimes, even though when the team isn't in games. And I get that you want to try that type of thing, but you need a strong character to carry the team. And I think Jordan James has got that about him, and he's been a massive loss as well. But Dan, going into this game, obviously, we played them this season. We drew 1-1. Jordan Ayew scored a penalty, by the way. Last time we went to the Riverside was a 1-0 win for Boro. Sam Greenwood scored the free kick, I'm afraid. The Riverside, we haven't won there since 2013. Last time we went there, Jamie Vardy scored and so did Danny Drinkwater in a 2-1 win. How do you sort of see this one panning out before we sort of look at the team itself?
Well, as we've already said, it's very much down to how we approach the game from now on, or just games from now on. If you'd asked me this maybe before Saturday's result, I would have, and we turned out the same crap as we had done the previous 4 games, I'd be like, we're on to a hiding to nothing, But what
do you take positives, Dan? Do you feel a bit more like, you know what, that second half was good?
Yeah, 100%. The other thing
I think there's a big positive to take into Tuesday night's game. If we can turn up the way we did in that second half and give it a good go.
Yeah, without a doubt. But also, Jack, the other thing that this side has done in this season is when it is against those better sides, like Ipswich, like Coventry, they've stepped up and they've raised their levels and shown what they can do. How many times did we think we were going to get battered by Ipswich because of the poor run of form we were on, and we end up smashing them?
We were 3-0 up at one point.
Well, that's it. Like I say again, yes, okay.
It's like the ugly game, isn't it?
Against Coventry in both games, we thought that we were going to be on the back foot in both of them, and we weren't. The same as Middlesbrough at home. We thought we were going to get thumped for them that time, and we ended up coming away with the draw. So I do have that in the back of my mind that when the chips are down against the better sides, it is almost like we need to turn up tonight, because if not, we're going to get embarrassed.
Yeah.
Against the lesser sides, they think
we struggle a bit. No, it's like we think we can just turn them over.
Yeah.
And I said this to Rich yesterday about Ipswich, and I said that's a mentality thing that these players think, because they've been in the Premier League and they've come down with the squad that they've got. They think they're better than these sides. They think they don't have to put the yards in and do anything. They're just going to roll over and get the 3 points. And this is what I say about Leicester. We've done that a lot this season, where we've gone 1-0 up in a game and think, we don't have to do any more. These ain't going to come at us. These ain't going to do anything. That's the weaker sides of the league. But then you look at teams like Middlesbrough this season, Ipswich at home, Coventry home and away, and we've turned up. And we've absolutely turned up, and these players have stepped up. So maybe we can take that tomorrow night and think, you know what, we have done it in games this season, in big games where we need to step up. There's 13 games left of this relegation battle. We need to be getting points, and maybe we could go and surprise Boro.
Exactly. And again, if they don't start getting bigger points quickly, we are going to be in a world of hurt. So, they do need to start tomorrow night on the front foot and get themselves in a position.
Just looking at the table, obviously, you were saying about turning up.
Yeah.
Derby is a prime example. Another one.
Yeah.
2 games in 3 weeks. Put it this way, Dan and Jack. If we'd have not beaten Derby twice, we would be 23rd right now.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Right, so, the mentality is, I knew for a fact when we beat Derby the first time, and we actually had a good run, if you remember it. Beat them 3-1. Drew with Bristol City when we should have won. Beat Ipswich. I thought, okay, maybe things are turning around a little bit. Back down to reality with QPR and Watford. Derby, maybe, but we just knew that we'd be back down to reality against Sheffield United on New Year's Day. You just saw it coming. So I hate it when we turn up in games like Derby, or I'm looking at the ones now for Ipswich. I'm looking at the table. So that top 6, we've drawn to Wrexham twice, beaten Ipswich. We drew to Coventry. I know we lost to them at the recap, but we drew to them, and we drew to Middlesbrough. So it goes to show that we do turn up against these, the top sides.
The only ones we've lost to is Millwall and Hull in that top 6.
Yeah, but I don't consider them to be big sides.
No.
And that's, unfortunately, the players' mentality as well.
It is. It's a mentality thing for Leicester. I think this is why we are where we are, because the players just feel like they can turn it whenever they want to. And, it's a 46-game season, for God's sake. You can't be having that mentality over the whole season. You've got to be taking it one game at a time and keep building on the good things and not bloody keep constantly doing the bad things.
Yeah, exactly.
Football can change quite quickly. Go on, Dan.
Bless you. We're waiting. Right. It would have been better. It would have been better if you didn't do it. Just do it. Just do it.
No, that's it.
Right. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're now going to go through the team itself. Will there be changes? Will they not? Obviously, Abdul doesn't look like he's going to feature tomorrow night due to his knee. Jordan Ayew, it doesn't look like he will feature either. Leicester Christensen's not going to feature due to that injury. But then obviously the left back position is just an easy pick, in it. You can put Luke Thomas there. Let's have a look at this little preview. So Leicester going into this. So Middlesbrough in their last 5 games have won 3, lost 1, drawn 1. Leicester have lost 4. Well, obviously that's including the FA Cup. And then, obviously Middlesbrough didn't play in the FA Cup, did they? So no competition. Yeah, Leicester's last win was West Brom.
All competitions
in the league. I'm looking at the league. West Brom at home. 5th of January was our last win. So it's going to take some beating tomorrow to go there and get something. Like I say, it's an uphill task. Leicester have conceded in 8 straight games, while Middlesbrough have scored 8 in their last 5. So Middlesbrough are unbeaten in their last 5 against Leicester meetings, winning 2 and drawing 3. So they're unbeaten in the last 5 against us going into this. Leicester sit 22nd in the table. Gary Rowett picked up a first point in his first game. Let's talk about the team. Right. Let's go. What are we thinking? Goalkeeper's going to be Begovic. I don't see how it wouldn't be. Luke Thomas left back.
Yeah.
Lascelles I don't think is going to feature either. So that sort of leaves me with Nelson and Akoli again. Right back. It's pushing Ricardo again. I think
Hamza.
Hamza's out still.
Oh, is it?
Good. He's out.
I think Hamza's out for the season.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a Luca.
Left back. I wouldn't mind seeing Skip there again.
Do you know what? You think about it, every time Skip's played in a different role. Now, if you remember Sheffield United at home, he got put at centre back. And to be fair, we didn't concede in that second half. I know the damage was done, but he played well there. Went left back against Southampton.
5 against Derby.
There you go. So
right, Ricardo would be right back.
Mm-hmm.
What do you reckon in the midfield too? Is it Skip and Winks again, or Winks and
I think
Winks
he'll go with what he
Rebo?
finished with. I think he'll just go with what he finished with on Saturday.
Okay, talk us through it, Dan.
I think, like I say, it'll be the only slight doubt I have.
Yeah,
is whether Ricardo can go for a second game because he hasn't done all season so far. So whether he then puts Aluko in or not, I don't know. I think he'll try and get at least 60 minutes out of Ricardo for the obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And then he seemed to like having Aribo out on that right-hand side after Monga let himself down quite a lot. I mean, yes, okay, he took a couple of big whacks, but still, he was really poor.
Aribo can play right wing though, can't he? And then you talk about Southampton fans and they say, well, he's not really that good on the wing. He's better down the middle.
Yeah.
See, for square pegs and round holes, basically. If Abdul's due to probably be out again, as it says today with Ayu as well.
Yeah. That's it.
So you probably are going to have to swap Monga and Aribo, maybe. Aribo
what about Silko?
He's not good enough.
Can't see Monga starting. Skip is the most dependable player we have. That says a lot about the squad.
Yeah.
It's true. Oliver Skip's had a big turnaround this season, but like I say, he's a proper championship midfielder. He's not a Premier League. So that's probably why he's done a lot better. Given the run of game time, he's started to pick up that confidence. He looks more happier in the position now. So he's took a lot of slack as well, though, from us.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was more to do with how much he's cost us, which is slightly unfair.
That's what it is.
Because it wasn't him who put the bid in. So that's the club. That's the problem. When you don't have a lot of money and you bring in a player like that and spend the money that you do, you take it out on the player unfairly, and we've all done it. But in returns of what he's given us as a player, he's been all right. But like you say, when you're spending 25 million, you don't want all right, especially when you ain't got money. So he's been the target for that, which has been a bit unfair. So like I say, taking the money cost of him aside, like I say, he's been fine. He's been all right. But
I think if it was 10 million or less, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
No, exactly.
It's the price we pay, isn't it?
That's it.
Mamadidi will play out left.
Yeah,
I've no doubt about that.
Yeah.
What about Richard? What about Joe and Richard? Where'd you put him in?
Right?
Yeah, would you put him out on the right tomorrow instead of Monga?
Well, I don't understand how there must be something wrong with him because we've not really seen him.
No.
And he was brought in as a right winger, not a forward like we all thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
So, I'm a little bit surprised he didn't come on Saturday at all.
No.
Possibly. He's on the bench all the while, but like I say, we've not really seen him. So.
Aluko Rabak is Ricky's not played 2 games. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be against the Aluko starting tomorrow night. I think he'd get a good go. He's a committed player. He's hungry.
He doesn't get sent off.
You look at him against Cheltenham, he looked a lot more firmer on the ball. He looked a lot more like he wanted to get it forward a lot more in battle. And that's players you need in this team who's going to commit themselves for the cause. And this is what the young players will bring to the squad. Obviously, they're being thrown in at the deep end, which they have to do a bit more extra than what these experienced players are doing because they're not doing what they're doing, these experienced.
He might put Macassar out. He might put Macassar out on the right. And as I say, go with Rebo, Skip, and Winks in the centre, like what I said earlier.
Maybe.
Obviously you're going to lose a bit with him doing that, but whether he does like what Maddison used to do and ends up drifting inside more than what he does out wide, he may look at that at trying to work. Who knows?
You got to try something.
I just can't see him playing Monga again. I think he hurt himself with the performance he turned it out there, is it really wasn't good enough anywhere near. Which is a bit hard, but
Dak will be the striker.
Yeah.
See, do you know what? Against Saturday, I'll give Daka his praise. He worked hard off the ball. He ran for everything. He chased everything, and he worked his socks off. And yes, he's paid to score goals, and he's probably done more for him running this season than Jordan Ayew has. And he gets to the balls when they're free. He's just one of them who stumbles over a lot. It looks like his shoelaces have been tied together. That's the way Daka runs. But no, I think that's the way it'll go. Score prediction then. What do we reckon? How does this go? Some people think we're going to get a battering at the Riverside tomorrow night.
No, I don't see that happening. Happening.
Leicester do the unthinkable at times. Sometimes when the odds are against us, we seem to sometimes pull out the magic. Sometimes. What do we think? How does it go? Regarding the score?
I think we'll get another draw again. I'd say something like again a 2-2 draw.
A point be better than nothing.
Because we concede, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. He's not had enough time to work with them to get his ideas across in structure on the training pitch. And I think Middlesbrough will be slightly nervous of being quite cavalier with only picking 1 point up in the last 2 games.
They're favourites, aren't they? Pressure's on. I'd say the pressure's on Middlesbrough.
They're at home. They're second in the league and they're at home. They should be the favourites.
So I think
4-0 Boro.
I think we will sneak a 1-0 win. I feel like I don't know. Listen, stranger things have happened in the Championship this season. Oxford United, what beat a few weeks not long ago, beat Coventry. Sheffield Wednesday got a point recently against, I think, like Birmingham at home. Like Birmingham were a fortress at home. Do you know what? A sneaky 1-0 win. Why not? Why end this 5.5 month streak? And I'll tell you now, Jack, if we get a 1-0 win, I want you on your vlog. I want you to shout, "The streak is over." On your match day vlog.
I'll do more than that if Leicester scored a 1-0 in the 90th minute. Bloody hell. I think I'll be on the pitch. We do cartwheels over to Gary Rowan.
Let's hope you have a better away day food review tomorrow than you did at Stoke.
Clean sheet. Chelsea's questioning your.
I don't know. I just feel. I don't know. There's something about tomorrow.
You've always gone back your team. Of course you have.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes you got to be optimistic, or maybe in Ross terms, over optimistic.
I think clean sheets are just a little bit too early for.
I don't know.
I'll take it all day long.
I feel like a Jedi. I sense it. I feel like a Yoda at this point, where I feel like this clean sheet will come.
Ross, have you watched us all season?
Trust me, Paul. I have watched this all season. I just feel like it. I don't know. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. By the way, I just want to I feel like it could happen.
In the Championship 2 years ago, mate. That's what I think's been
do you know what you were saying earlier about goals conceded? How many have we conceded? What, 53? Is it?
3 goals.
Do you know when we went down to League One in 2007-8? We conceded 44 goals all season. We conceded the second least that season.
Okay, right. Score prediction from me. Jesus Christ. Do you know what? I'll go for an optimistic 1-1.
Oh.
Optimistic 1-1. I think if we fall apart, there can be no Stoke City. I'm sorry. If we concede the first goal in the opening minutes, it could very much be curtains for Leicester. They're a far better side, and they'll put us to bed quite easily, I think, if that happens. But this is where I say Leicester have got to be better in the first 5 minutes. Whatever happens, we need a result. I fancy the Baggies to win. See, they've got Charlton tomorrow night as well, actually, West Brom. So yeah, we've got to get something out of the game. And if we don't get something, then they go and beat Charlton at 4 points. So there we go. Hello, Ailey, love, how are we?
It is a big ask, but again, I feel like
it's like winning the lottery.
I don't know. GR can. I feel like he can grind it out. I don't know. I just got a feeling. That's just all I'm feeling. If we had Marty, I wouldn't be saying this. But I just feel like under Rowett, I don't know. That second half, I thought we played a lot better. I don't know. And do you know what? I feel like I'm going to get that goal in the last 10 minutes of the game. I don't know who, but I just know we're going to get it. All right. So there you go. And I think Luke Thomas will. I feel like Luke Thomas will have it, hopefully, because last time he was at the Riverside, he was playing for Middlesbrough.
Right.
And so was Kelechi.
Do you want me to give you Gary Rowett's record against Middlesbrough?
Oh no!
Right. 6 games he's played against Middlesbrough. He's won 3 and lost 3.
Okay, that's not too bad.
That's sort of telling me there's a draw going to happen here, boys.
Yeah,
0-0.
Yeah, 3-2 Leicester. Oxford win on Wednesday. Charlton could end up free falling into the drop zone. Interesting. Right, everyone hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you know and you haven't subscribed already. Get down and do so. It helps out massively. Like target for this 50 likes. So if there's 45 of you watching in here, by the way, I want you to all hit the like button before this ends. Championship predictions is also on the channel for Tuesday and Wednesday's games. Me and Rich did it yesterday. Steve's wife, Tyre blew, so he ended up going elsewhere. But we managed to get through it. Go and check out the predictions. You'll see what Rich and Steve have also gone for Leicester City's game at the Boro tomorrow night. Will there be a chicken parmas and away day food review? Only God knows. But there we go. Let's see how optimistic Leicester City are tomorrow at the Riverside. See you there. Match day vlog out tomorrow as well. Let's go, Foxes. Come on. Catch you soon. And we'll see you at Boro.